So there is a pretty surprising story. Now, you guys probably know, I have reported on this recently, but Joe Biden's approval rating has been tanking. He hasn't, it seems that every president goes through a honeymoon phase where after they're elected, they have good approval ratings. I think Trump was the only one in recent times that has not had that. So Joe Biden was rolling off that honeymoon phase, but he hasn't really delivered anything of substance or substantial to Americans. And the way that the media covered the Afghanistan pullout turned people, some independents is what it seems like, have really turned on him. It turned them against him. So his numbers have gone down, but something interesting is going on, and that is Vice President Kamala Harris. Her numbers are rising. So Joe Biden's numbers go down, but Kamala's go up. It says Harris's poll numbers rise as Biden's fall. Vice President Harris has rebounded in recent weeks, regaining her footing with approval ratings that now stand higher than President Biden's. Harris got off to a rocky start at the beginning of the administration, including a botched response on why she hadn't traveled to the Mexican border when she said she hadn't been to Europe either. But her allies say Harris, whose difficult start provoked questions about her ability to be a future presidential candidate for the party, has found her place in the White House. I think there's definitely a feeling that things have been smoother, said one ally. It seems like they have ironed out some of the initial wrinkles. Julian Zelizer, a professor of history and public affairs at Princeton, said Harris has, quote, started to solidify her position and strengthen the office, gaining a sense, always difficult for a VP, of what her role should be in the administration. The key will be how those numbers hold as policy controversies continue and politics heat up. A Gallup poll last week showed 49% approved of Harris's job as vice president, 6 points higher than Biden's 43% approval rating. It's a significant change for both Biden and Harris. The president fell 6 points since August and 13 points since June. Harris's current approval rating is the same as Biden's in 2009 when he served as Barack Obama's vice president. Now, it also goes on to say that she's actually doing better with independents. So it seems like what's really brought him down is the Afghanistan situation that has had independents turn on Joe Biden, which is a very, very key demographic in the election. Now, it's just interesting to see because Kamala Harris's numbers went up. They were like low 40s. I think some might have even been high 30s. So it's significantly risen. It's risen at least like 6 points, but maybe even more than that. So it's interesting to see how hers have gone up. Now, for a while, Kamala Harris was the target. But I think that ever since Afghanistan happened, everybody turned their attention to shitting on Joe Biden. And so I guess as they started to just concentrate on Joe Biden, I guess the approval rating for Kamala Harris improved as, there weren't really as many, if any, controversies going on with Kamala Harris that I can recall. But prior to that, she was like front page news for a long time with this comment or that comment about this engagement or that engagement. And obviously she's, she's very unlikable. She has a very fake laugh that's very, very bizarre. And she's incredibly fake. It's like worse than Hillary Clinton level of fake, I would say. I felt like, just seems worse. So it seems like some of the people, according to this report, I don't know if this is really the consensus amongst Democrats or people near Kamala Harris, that she is indeed somebody who can contend with other politicians. I think we can all agree if Kamala Harris ran against Trump, she's going to lose for sure. The question is whether or not Kamala can even win in a primary. It'll be weird if Joe Biden doesn't run because she'll be the vice president, but, typically whenever there's an incumbent running in a primary, it's very taboo to run against them. But if it's the vice president, does it go by the same rules? Do you go by the same rules? Who would be willing to challenge Kamala Harris? Could she win a primary against, Elizabeth Warren or someone like that? I don't really know. Those are the questions you kind of have to ask. But I definitely don't think that she's a good fit in terms of being like a serious contender for national politics. But, interesting and kind of weird to see.